So I've been reading this book called No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert A. Glover, and it's brought to my attention that there is a clear and undeniable fact that a majority of men in today's society are getting taken advantage of. As men, we aren't getting the love that we want. As men, we aren't getting the sex that we want. As men, we are not ultimately fulfilling the life that we want to live, leading to a cascade of depressing moments, mainly because of the nice guy syndrome. So in this video, I'll be giving you 3 lessons that I learned from this book that you need to be mindful of so that you cannot get taken advantage of by anyone ever again based on what I read in this book. Let's get to it. Lesson number 1. First off, let's talk about what the nice guy syndrome is. From what I learned, the nice guy syndrome is, and I quote, a condition where men have internalized a faulty roadmap that leads them to believe that if they're good, then they will be liked, they'll be loved, they'll be appreciated, and they do everything right, then they should have a smooth, problem-free life. Which is crazy to think about because that is actually scary accurate. See, a lot of people think just because you do some good to someone in the world that you automatically deserve some type of goodness back, which will make sense if you're perchance in a Hollywood movie or living in a delusional fairy tale land. You gotta wake up. This is the real world. This mindset is single-handedly preventing men from actualizing their goals simply because they're doing the nice actions for the wrong reason, ultimately making every action they make tied to pleasing others and not pleasing themselves in the right way. They lose themselves in the process, and then they get mad at themselves for not living the life that they want to live because they're too busy foregoing their own wants and needs to make others happy. Nice guys try their hardest to look good. They try to do everything right. Their happiness comes from making others happy, and they will stop at no end to make sure that they are happy. They avoid any type of conflict that will upset anyone in order to keep the peace, especially with women. And this is where they make a detrimental mistake because everything they do is done to please others. They don't know how to please themselves. They forget about their own wants and needs in order to focus on another person's needs so that they can get that person to like them. And there are a lot of people in this world that can sense that you only do things to please others, and they will take advantage of you. Those are the people you gotta watch out for. They can sense that you're an avid people pleaser, and they will take advantage of that trait. Listen to me, they will take advantage of that trait, whether that be in your dating life, your work life, or within your family. I'm pretty sure the majority of the viewers listening right now have been through an experience quite similar to this, where their kindness gets taken advantage of. It's very important that you be aware of the fact that you are a people pleaser, because this might just come at the sake of your own sanity. Second lesson. It wasn't until reading this book that I realized that there is a difference between these two terms. Being a caretaker means 3 things. Giving others what the giver needs to give. The act itself comes from a place of abundance within the giver. And the action always has an unconscious string attached to it. That's what being a caretaker is about. While caring is just the opposite, right? You give the receiver what the receiver needs. The act comes from a place of scarcity, comes from a place of emptiness, and there are no unconscious strings attached to it. Now, I want you to take a look at what I just listed out. Right? I want you to take a look at what I just listed out. And you tell me, which person would you want to be? Tell me which person you think will be more liked by people. Take a second. If you chose caretaker, then you are absolutely wrong. Being a caretaker means that there is a selfish reason as to why you're doing these actions. There's always a selfish reason behind your actions, even though it may not seem selfish on the surface. Secretly, you're doing it in hopes to cash in a favor in the future. I know most of you guys can think about a person in your life that does exactly that. It can be as simple as asking someone about their day, only because you want them to ask you about your day, so that you can tell them how you did something so interesting, like meeting Cristiano Ronaldo for the first time or going swimming with the sharks, something interesting. Meanwhile, you never really cared about how their day went. You just only want to talk about your day. We all know those people, and it's up to us to try to avoid those people as best as we can. That's what being a caretaker entails. You want to be a caring person, because guys caretake for many reasons, and none of them have anything to do with the actual act of being selfless for the sake of love. And I'm going to read to you this excerpt just to show you that I'm not lying. Nice guys give in ways that they would like others to give to them. Gifts, affection, back rubs, sex, surprises. They will encourage their partner to take the day off, buy a new outfit, go to the doctor, take a trip, quit a job, go back to school. Yet, would not give themselves the permission to do any of the same things. What sense does it make to tell someone to enjoy the very things that are relaxing to another person, to enjoy these very relaxing experiences, and not do it yourself? It doesn't make any sense. You need to learn how to put yourself first. Learn how to take care of yourself. If you fall within the category of being a caretaker, or if you know someone that is a caretaker, someone who does things in order to get paid back, then you need to call that person out for their behavior. You should not want to hang around with that person ever, because they will take advantage of you. And if you're that person, if you're that caretaker, then you need to be aware of that action. You need to be aware that you do tend to caretake. And stop that, because it's not fair to the person who's on the receiving end, nor is it fair to your potential to grow as a friend. The third, this might trigger a lot of people, but I don't care. A lot of nice guys in his generation become nice guys due to the abandonment issues that they had when they were a child. According to this book, in an agrarian society, boys connected with their fathers by working alongside with them in the fields. But after World War II, their contact between the fathers and the sons diminished greatly. And I believe this. The addictions men had to deal with back in the day, like work, watching too much TV, alcohol, sex, that sounds something similar to what's going on in today's society. Those actions took a lot of time away from their sons, leaving the women of the household, oftentimes the mom, to take on the fatherly role of raising a son to be a man. And I quote from this book, "Women inherited the de facto job of turning boys into men." And unfortunately, in most cases, that hasn't shown to shed any good fortune for those generation of boys. It's led to believe that a lot of boys from the 40s, the 1940s, to even now, being raised by their mothers, have adopted a female perspective of masculinity, meaning that they're a lot more soft, a lot more timid, especially when it comes to handling conflict. Most of those men cower in fear instead of standing up for themselves when someone insults or challenges them, or someone that they know that's getting insulted or challenged. Instead of looking for ways to improve, instead of looking for ways to step outside their comfort zone and try something new, they rely on the comfortability that mommy can provide for them. Their potential to be someone great gets halted, gets wasted. And I'm not blaming women for any of this. I understand that situations happen and you have to do what you need to do to raise your children, to raise your sons. But for any mother that is watching this video, it is imperative that if you want your son to succeed in being an ideal, astute, and honorable man of character, that you need to let them learn how to be a real man from a real man. I'm gonna say it again. You need to let them learn how to be a real man from a real man. Just like how girls learn how to be a woman from a grown woman, you have to let the boys learn how to be a man from a grown ass man. And not a man that's in the streets thinking that stealing from people, selling drugs, gang banging is how to make a name for yourself because it looks cool. That shit's lame as fuck. That shit's so lame. And it makes me beyond angry that there are kids out there that think this is the actual way that they can provide value in this world. They think that's their limit. They think that that's all their potential is good for because that's all they see in their environment. There's way more that they can provide for the world. Anyway, younger men need a real man, a real male role model who can teach them proper values that will make them valuable in the world. Their value can add to the betterment of society, not the destruction of it. They need someone who can teach them how to tie a tie. They need someone to teach them how to talk to a girl respectfully. They need someone to teach them how to play a sport they want to be better in. They need someone to teach them how to study properly, how to read. They need someone to teach them how to talk professionally. They need someone to be there for them as support. Every boy needs that man in their life in order to know how to defend themselves from getting taken advantage of. Because there will come a time where there will be challenge. Shit, I go through challenges literally every day throughout the week. And I thank my father for helping me get through those challenges. I thank all the male role models in my life that helped me get through those challenges, because without them, I'd be lost. Every boy needs that male role model in their life, whether it be their father, their older brother, an older classmate or teammate, anyone. And for the men who are actually watching this video and understanding the message I'm trying to portray, you know we have a responsibility to make sure that we take care of the younger generation and lead them towards a path of prosperity, not turmoil. There's a lot of evil and distracting people in this world. Let's do our part and take care of our people. But if you like what you heard in this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Share to someone who needs to hear this. Don't forget to book a call with me if you want to practice your social skills with me completely for free. We can literally have a one-on-one conversation. And we could talk about whatever girl you're talking to. We talk about whatever interview you got going on. You could talk about going to the mall, making friends. We could talk about how to do so in this call completely for free. Just imagine just having a conversation with Joe Prodigy. I'll put the link in the description down below. Other than that, develop a prodigy mindset and tackle your problems with everything you got. I believe in you. Take care. Peace.